friends, it's Not Sab. Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. I have decided to start making videos more often than I have. I know I haven't posted anything since like February, but I think I was a little burnt out, you know, and I was going through a lot of life changes and I had a lot of realizations that just kind of made it hard for me to make videos, I guess. I was kind of in a funk. Being in your 20s is kind of stressful and there's like a lot of things going on. I think ever since I started dating Saul, my boyfriend, which by the way, we just hit a year, 1 year anniversary, woo! But ever since I dated Saul, like I feel like my brain has been maturing, and back when I did YouTube more often, I didn't really see a problem in like oversharing parts of my life that maybe I shouldn't have. But now, like, you know, when you're in your 20s and you get past your teens, you can kind of feel your brain clicking and it's like maturing, you know, like the brain reaches maturity at like 25 or something. I'm 23 now, and I think I just came to the realization that I do want to keep some parts of my life private, and that's what I've kind of been doing. I do have a very active life now, which is why I haven't been doing YouTube, because, you know, like when I was single in my depressed era, I didn't have a car, I couldn't drive, and I was still like in college, I didn't have a job. Like YouTube was like my main hobby, and it was like my job because I made some money off of it. Like not enough, of course, to support myself or anything, but you know, it was some money and I enjoyed doing it. And I just think some priorities in my life have switched over, and so I probably won't be posting as much as I did, you know, like when I did like weekly videos, but I'll post once in a while. This one is just gonna be a little life update as well as like some unreleased clips I've had. Saul and I celebrated our 1 year anniversary. We're doing great. Of course, like we have our problems, we have our little fights, not like fights, we have our little moments, but it's fine. It's normal, it's whatever, we get past them. Let's see, we got a car together, we're financing a car together. I think that's a pretty big step. I moved in full-time, I'm working at my job full-time, I'm making enough money at my job to be able to afford monthly payments on a car. Also, I'm planning on going back to school, which is a little bit scary. There's like no set plans quite yet. I still have to go to the presentation for it, but I am pretty set on like going. I also was in a little bit of a funk this past year because it was considered my gap year, and then as like the deadline got closer and closer to the beginning of summer this year, my mom was kind of pressuring me to be like, oh, like what's your next step? I can't believe you're like doing full-time at your job, like I don't want you to depend on that job and like get comfy there. And it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being comfy at a job. It also put a little bit of pressure on my relationship with Saul because for the most part before I was full-time, I wasn't full-time until like May this year, but I moved in with him in December, and up until that point, like he was like, yeah, just move in and I'll support you and whatever, and like I can pay for rent. And I was like, okay, I'll buy groceries, stuff like that. But it still put pressure on our lives, and it's fine. But I'm in a better place now, which I'm so thankful for, because this, like the beginning of this year was super rough for me, which is why I didn't really want to do YouTube anymore. I also wasn't driving like I wasn't driving myself to work. It was still Saul that had to drive me to work, because I couldn't drive his manual car, which is why we have a new car and it's automatic. But he was driving me to work and I was just depending on him a lot. So things are better now. It's nicer. Of course, there's still bumps that we've been going through. I've had kind of a tough time this past month. Did a lot of crying. I honestly did a lot of crying this past half year because of like, I don't know, when you're in your 20s, you yourself feel a lot of pressure to get your life together. Even though like I always like give myself a lot of cushy room. I'm like, I'm only 23. I have so much more of my life to figure out. But then there's people around me, like my parents. I love my parents, but the one thing I hate that people do to me is when they nag me and when I'm being told what to do. So, you know, my parents were kind of pressuring me to like move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing. And I was just like, well, can I figure my shit out? Can I get into a stable place? Every month I'm like, I'm just gonna relax this month. I'm just gonna have a, you know, chill time. And then so many things happen. And that's kind of what happened this past month. July was very busy because it was Saul and I's 1 year. It was also Saul's 25th birthday. What else? We had a friend from out of town come to visit, so we were like hanging out all the time. We had a friend move in with us and then move out, and it was just a lot, which was fine, you know, it happens, and we were all prepared. Saul and I are very fortunate to be like in a place in our lives where we're able to like adapt to things and roll with the punches if anything happens, and like we're a safety net for people. But it does get a little tiring, and I am a little tired, and so I was like, August is gonna be so great and it's gonna be so chill and I'm gonna have a great time. And then I wasn't, and I had a really hard time this past month. I also went to the OBGYN for the first time. I got my pap smear and it was normal, thank fucking God. And then I had okay, TMI. I can do a whole other video about this because I know it's a scary experience for someone to get their first pap smear. And it was definitely scary for me. I was freaking out the whole damn time, but it was literally nothing. It was literally fine. But I also had an ultrasound where they had to stick the wand up my vagina. It's called a transvaginal ultrasound. And that was because I was having some problems with my period. I can do another video about that, but that was a big step for me. I also drove myself to the OBGYN. That was a big step for me. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I'm having a good time coming into myself as an adult, and I think that I needed time off of YouTube in order for me to flourish as an adult. Like, I needed the time to myself to figure out what I like doing. Yeah, I just needed a lot of time by myself to just kind of figure out who I am outside of YouTube, because YouTube was a huge part of my life, and it is kind of sad for me. I was talking about this with Saul. It is kind of sad for me that it's not anymore, and I do feel like a sort of emptiness in my heart because of it. But at the same time, I needed the space away from YouTube in order to flourish as an adult, because I've been doing YouTube since I was a junior in high school. I am 23. I was 17 when I started this channel, and I was posting all the time, and it was kind of all my life centered around and I don't think it's healthy for me to center my life around one single thing, you know, especially as an adult. I have bills to pay, I have groceries to buy, I have to go to work. We got a cat, Tiku. We have a cat now. Gotta take care of the cat. I have a whole apartment to contribute to and clean and be responsible for. I have a social life. I have like a great friend group. Yeah, I just have a good support system, and I'm really happy that I spent the time by myself to figure out where I am. And yeah, that's basically all I had to say. This rest of the vlog is just gonna be random stuff I filmed throughout the past few months, ever since like February. That I just never posted because I never got around to. We also filmed like a movie commentary for Scream 6, but I never got around to that because I was also feeling burnt out. And it's also like, when I do YouTube, like, you have to dedicate so much time to filming, so much time to getting ready to film, so much time to filming, and then so much time to editing, and that's just like that's not what I want to do when I get off of work. Like, I want to spend time with my boyfriend. I want to play video games. I want to crochet. I want to play with my cat and cuddle with my cat. I want to watch TV. Like, I want to have downtime alongside that, and it just kind of sucks. So I'll try to post more, no promises. I'll try to stream more, no promises. I think also another reason why I don't like doing YouTube anymore is because I have to get ready, and it sucks. I hate having to look presentable. I know it's like not a mandatory thing for me to like look presentable while I'm filming, but I think, you know, you guys would rather look at me with makeup on rather than without makeup on, and you'd rather look at me with my hair nice instead of me having, you know, just woken up and my hair is like all sorts of different crazies. Anyways, yeah, that's my life. Oh yeah, I got a haircut too. Look, it's like short. Isn't that crazy? I was getting tired of my long hair. It's not as short as I really wanted it to be, but I didn't want to cut it too short, so whatever. Anyways, I have to go to work soon. I'm doing a half day today, which is why I was able to film. Yay. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye 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 bye.